Ho, 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 boys and girls, lads and lassies. Welcome to the last show before Christmas, the last live show before Christmas. So we are doing the Muppets Christmas Carol with Michael Caine. Whoa, ho, ho. Bah, humbug. Bah, humbug. See if you can actually change my mind before the end of the show. So, has everybody managed to see the show?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
I've seen it many times.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's not usually always on my. This is the Christmas watch list, but that's because it's just such a great story.
Yep. You can watch
Even though it's a Muppet translation of Dickens' story.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like a slow burner, and it starts to hook you toward the end, and you get the entire Christmas like spirit. It's meant to be quite emotional, and I was surprised. I was rewatching it yesterday, and I was just going, "Wow, this still tugs at the heart." And it is a really bizarre way that it still managed to do that.
See, to me, this is different from a lot of Muppet movies, like Treasure Island and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They do the movie and put the Muppet twist on it, which usually changes the story slightly.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, all they did was they put the Muppets brand on it, but they didn't change it. They kept it true to the story. They just had the Muppets bits and pieces in amongst it and stuff like that. And I quite liked it for that. Obviously, the musical on it and stuff like that. But they didn't. I like a lot of movies. Like if you watch things like, as I said, Treasure Island, the Treasure Island basic story is the same. They go to the, and there's the similar characters, but there's always a slight wee twist to change it to a Muppet movie. Whereas this one, all they did was they just made it, it's all Muppet characters except 3. Well, 5 if you include the nephew and niece's friends. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't really a star-studded cast except for just Michael Caine, was it?
Yeah. The girl who played the niece, I recognised her, but I can't remember where I recognised her from.
There is a lot of the voices that are playing in this. And I mean, you do have star-studded behind-the-scenes stuff. You have Frank Oz to begin with. Executive producer, if I'm not mistaken. He might have been music producer or whatever it was, but it's he was still lending all he had to it. And overall, I mean, it's a Jim Henderson production kind of thing. It's that studio. You can tell the animatronics, the facial movements, everything.
Yeah.
And regardless where you go throughout history, where there is Henderson, whether it's dinosaurs or Farscape or the Muppets.
Or the turtles behind you.
Exactly. The turtles. You can recognize that. You can identify uniquely that this is Henderson.
Yeah.
And also, there is no other puppetry animatronics. Say maybe possibly. Was that the guy that technically started it? He did Jason and the Argonauts with
Ray Harryhausen.
Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah. That's probably the only one beside Henderson that you can actually tell that's him.
And also
that's them.
Also, with the Jim Henderson production, they know how to push it to the limits. But with the wonderful sets and everything, and the amount of detailing they put into, everything, it is an unbelievable film. And I've got to really hand it to them. And it's not just that; it's just the amount of puppeteers that had to be on that set to have all those Muppets in one scene. Is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. And Tim Rose was one of the Muppets animators and voice. Tim Rose was in Star Wars. Was he not the one that played General Akbar?
It's a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap. And mind you, it could be the Bobaverse, one of the two. Sorry for anybody that's not read the Bobaverse. Admiral Akbar is basically in that.
Bobaverse is a highlight of 2022. It's been a lot of crap and junks and everything, but Bobaverse, which PJ recommended to me, absolute highlight in terms of the story. You get your cheeky geek hooks, and you recognize, shall we say, the memes. But overall, there's an amazing story arc being played through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the Muppets. You've got Gonzo who's playing the role as Charles Dickens, telling the story. But you still had to have comic relief with Rizzo the Rats. So it was still like a double act.
Yeah. It was Kermit was done by Steve Whitmire.
Yeah, he took over.
Because Steve did Rizzo the Rat, Bean Bunny, Kermit the Frog, Beaker, then Belinda Cratchit, and the Beetle, and the Lips, and the Big Gentleman, whoever the Big Gentleman was. So, yeah. But so it was obviously after he passed.
Another thing is I found interesting about this, Miss Piggy wasn't centre stage mainly through this film.
Yes. But then again, none of them were.
No, they were just background characters.
Yes. I think the biggest characters you would see throughout this movie were Gonzo and Rizzo.
Yeah.
Because Gonzo was as he said, the narrator. So, because he knew everything. But it was definitely a really entertaining. The only other time I've enjoyed the Christmas Carol told, and it was Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Although I would still class this one slightly better, just because I love the Muppets. Scrooge was done in a particular way. It is a funny movie, but this one is a better Christmas Carol.
Scrooge was a modern take back then. The Muppets Christmas Carol was a classical take.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Scrooge was a good movie. To Bill Murray playing Bill Murray. He was adding charisma.
Scrooge was basically a good, entertaining comedy.
Yeah.
The Muppets Christmas Carol was a good, entertaining Christmas Carol movie. Slight differences. So the Bill Murray one could have been about anything, and it just so happened it was about the Christmas Carol, but it wasn't technically a Christmas Carol. Well, it was a Christmas Carol movie, but it wasn't a better Christmas Carol movie than the Muppets Christmas Carol. I would always watch, if I had a choice of the two, the Muppets Christmas Carol would win every single time because it's just so entertaining. And watching Michael Caine sort of trying to sing.
Yeah.
And sort of trying to dance.
I never knew Michael Caine.
You didn't notice it.
I never knew Michael Caine could sing. That's the thing. I thought he was just like, one tone of voice and that was it.
He's always struck me as someone having that classical good training. He's probably like Oxford, that kind of region.
No, he wasn't. He didn't.
No. I mean the training, the scholar stuff that he managed to get. But he definitely has that kind of East London.
He's from South East London, actually.
Jacob Ironside, he says he liked Gonzo until he went Princess. See, that was always one thing. I love Gonzo character, but his overly affection for the chickens was just a wee bit too much.
Yep.
For me, it's always Monster.
Having a kid's character. I know they did Dark Crystal and stuff, but the Muppets was predominantly a kids character show. Having them sort of having an overly, how do you actually put it? It wasn't lusty. It was just a case of overly infatuation. And it seemed weird for a kid show having the type of the relationship. We'll not go anywhere with fair enough. We don't know what Gonzo is.
No,
but Princess is a chicken. But you've got a pig and a frog married.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out.
With pig daughters and frog children and boys.
Yeah, I think I was on mute on the last one, but for me, it is the monster called Animal.
Yeah,
Animal's
I don't know why it stood out as a kid, and it still stands out as an adult. That he's just bringing a little bit of fun and energy into it, and just going off like a 70s rock stars high on drugs or whatever it is, just doing whatever.
I just love this bit where he's standing there with a triangle going. And you can just see him.
Yeah.
But Animals will always been one of my favourites. My favourite out of the whole Muppets, I know a lot of people won't be surprised at this, was Fozzie, because that's my level of jokes.
Oh, waka waka waka.
That was my level of jokes. Yeah, just those bad dad jokes. That was Fozzie's bread and butter. So I was always a big Fozzie Bear fan. So I was. But yeah, but was there any parts of this movie you thought didn't quite fit in?
Not particularly, no. Because there's actually two versions to this film. You've got the extended cut and the theatrical cut. And Scrooge's First Love, they cut that bit out the theatrical cuts because it was too long.
Well, that was the one I watched. That basically the DVD. So, and that is the cut. It was in it with his love. You know what I mean?
Well, it's tricky to say that there would be anything that doesn't belong, because this is, after all, the Muppets version of Charles Dickens' Scrooge.
Yeah.
So everything that is in there is intentional as part of the Muppet universe.
Yes,
and you have
I'm not
to
talking
take
about
the film
specifically like characters, wee bits. Is there any wee bit in you and you thought, didn't make it?
I'm going to be brutal on that one. It's going to have to be the intro where they're establishing the scenes and the sets, and it's slowly like hovering
It did take
over
a couple of minutes to pan over the rooftops into the scene with Gonzo and stuff like that.
But it's such a very minuscule part of it.
Yeah.
Because the film isn't that long. It's like 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think it's about 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 30, 25 or something like that. But do you know the only part it's not so much I didn't like, it's just I thought it was a wee bit out of place. And it was Fozziewig's, considering Fozzie was in it?
Yeah.
It was having the two talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
The basically Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah.
Heckling him, or basically the two Marleys acting like that, and it just seemed a wee bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because there's the two Marley brothers and Ebenezer Scrooge working for the happiest, most generous person, yet none of that at all washed off in any of the three of them. Yeah, I mean, it just seemed that if I could understand if that was his first job, and then the next job he worked with the two Marleys, and they basically took his bitterness and just get rid of the thingy. So, he was working with Fezziwigs and he'd fallen in love with a girl, and obviously you see how all these Christmases things have always happened on Christmas Day. Surprise, surprise for a Christmas Carol. Weird.
Yeah.
And it was all to do with that. But the fact is, the three of them worked there, yet none of it washed off on them. And that was the only wee part I thought was weird. But obviously, if they had to establish another bit, then they would have had to actually do a different flashback.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, what was your favourite part in it? We've all got our favourite characters, so when they pop in, yes, we all agree that our favourite characters are always great in the part.
Well, my favourite part of the movie is with Ghost of Christmas Present.
I actually preferred the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Yeah.
Although we tear in the eye with the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Yes. Yeah.
Tiny Tim, you're sitting there going,
No.
It's a bit of dust, honest.
It's not to say the reason why I like the Ghost of Christmas Present is because the guy who had to wear that costume, what hell we must have had to put up with being in there.
It would have probably been the same guy that did the
Yeah,
I mean, the big hairy ogre costume. So
but I just liked how from the beginning he had like a red beard and red hair, and then by the end of it it was all turning white because his time was coming to an end.
I never noticed the shop called Statler and Waldorf. But now you mention it, was that not what where Ebenezer Scrooge worked? Statler and Waldorf? No, he basically worked on his own. But it was a shop next door, wasn't it? This toy store they went into was called Statler and Waldorf. When I think about it, I never even actually clocked that at all. Really weird. 13 found out the song was so soppy. Yeah. See, the thing is, I saw this as an adult the first time. Because this was what the Muppets was 1992.
Yeah.
92. So I would have been 27. 30 years ago. I would have been 27. So I would have seen this I wouldn't have seen this until I was in my 30s. And I still enjoyed it. But then again, as I said, I loved the Muppets. So anything with the Muppets in it, I just loved. So I think it's one of those movies. It is timeless. And yes, I do remember somebody telling me that you can sort of see Michael Caine sort of biting his lip a couple of times when he's acting. It's almost like trying to hold in a laughter because he's working with the Muppets. He's keeping a straight face, but you can just see that look is almost like, still hit you a lot. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm trying to be serious. And the sort of wee cheeky smile occasionally comes through when he's meant to be less jovial. But I think it is a movie that you could rewatch anytime. It doesn't need to be a Christmas movie, but it's definitely an entertaining movie. And it is definitely one of the ones that I enjoy watching at Christmas. Just for the simple fact is, it's a traditional Christmas one, classic Dickens. And it's definitely Christmas, unlike things like Die Hard. It is definitely a Christmas movie.
You glad he's not here tonight?
And even, but the thing is, unlike some Christmas movies, this is one of the few you could watch out with Christmas and still enjoy it without worrying it. Well, it's a Christmas movie. You should be watching it at Christmas. No.
I'm sorry, Peter, but you're absolutely wrong. You're going to have to put me up on big screen so people can see what it says.
Christmas Party, Nakatomi Towers. Christmas Party, 1985.
Yep.
Yes.
Ho, ho, ho. Now I have it.
It looks like 88 to me. Yes, 88.
88, sorry. It's just the year picture looked 5. Yeah, but, yeah.
I mean, it's to each their own. For me, Die Hard is, for me, a Christmas film.
Yeah,
it is not the Christmas film because you have a Miracle on 34th Street. You have the Muppet Christmas Carol. There's an old musical that I keep forgetting what it is, but that's always on.
Yeah, but
around
see,
Christmas.
the way I look at it, something as a Christmas movie, it has to have a Christmas theme behind it. Die Hard is set over Christmas, not denying that, and it's having a Christmas party. But in all genres, it is an action movie. Whereas even the Violent Night, it's about Santa. It's an overly violent one, and even though it's about Santa, to me, that's not a Christmas movie. It is an ultra-violent action movie. It just so happens to be set at Christmas with Santa in it. Doesn't make it a Santa. It doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
But Lethal Weapon has Christmas theme in it as well, and I consider this is for us old timers, if I put it that way. Do you remember the TV shows that we had in the 80s and the 90s where they were running season on season?
Yep.
As soon as Christmas started rolling around, they were focused on the TV show. Like, this is Christmas. The office was decorated with like Christmas trees, elves and Santas and all of that stuff. I don't consider the TV show overall in such a sense to be a Christmas TV show, but a film that is set during the Christmas holidays. Yeah. I consider them eligible for the category.
I bet that's because it's a Christmas episode. It's a very specific Christmas episode. But the show is a comedy. It's got a Christmas episode. The thing is, you can't class the show as Christmas related because it's got a Christmas episode, but they always do a Christmas episode, so you can say that is a Christmas episode. The rest of it isn't. It's the same as Still Game, the Hogmanay Party. That's a New Year episode. It doesn't make Still Game a New Year TV show. So that's what I'm saying. TV shows are slightly different because you can have a Christmas episode, but out with that. But that's what I'm saying. To me, a Christmas movie has to have a Christmas theme to it. So it's about the Christmas theme. An action movie can be set at Christmas. A horror movie can be set at Christmas, but it doesn't make them horror Christmas movies.
Well, this is where I'm using your argument against you, because the entire theme around Die Hard is that it is set at a Christmas party.
Yes, but
it's not set outside the day after or the day before. It's at the Christmas party on Christmas Eve.
Yes, but it's an action movie set at Christmas. That's what I'm saying.
Don't care what the genre is. Could be comedy, it could be funny, it could be traditional.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But to me, a Christmas movie is one about the Christmas, not about the time of year in particular, but about Christmas. Whereas Die Hard is set at a Christmas party and it's an action movie. It's just that's the setting. That's like saying Die Hard is set in an airport. Doesn't make it an airplane movie just because it's in an airport, like Die Hard 2. You see what I mean? That is not. That's never. Nobody ever classes Die Hard 2 as an airplane movie.
No, but even
movie.
though it's around Christmas again, nobody considers Die Hard 2 to be a Christmas film.
Do you know what?
Yeah, but they don't class it as an airplane movie, but it's set in an airport. So why would, just because it was set in a Christmas party, make it a Christmas movie? That works the same thing, backwards and forwards. It's a mixed genre, that's the problem, but to me, it has to be about Christmas. I hate Elf, but Elf is a Christmas movie because it's about Christmas. I dislike
Elf is sadly just boring. I mean, it has some amazing actors in there, but it's sadly for me, it's just a boring film.
I only like Will Ferrell and Ron Burgundy, Anchorman. That's the only movie I like him in. Everything else he's been in, I just find him tedious. It's the same stuff he does multiple times. But it's like saying watching Jack Nicholson. There's one or two of his movies I like, but the rest of them he's just playing the exact same part. So his movies to me lose everything because it's just not Jack Nicholson. It's nothing special.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. But it might be the fact that I'm taking Bruce Willis because this was his kind of like big, like rocket launch into fame.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna deny. I like it. I think A Die Hard's a fantastic movie, but that's what I'm saying. Movies set at Christmas are not the same as Christmas movies because there's a lot of movies that Christmas is part of it because it's set out maybe over 3 or 4 years. They always show Christmas scenes, but nobody ever classes them as a Christmas movie, but they've got Christmas scenes in them. So, but if you say because Die Hard's at a Christmas party, that means other movies that are set throughout the year are a Christmas movie because it's got a Christmas party in it. Do you see what I mean? That's taking that.
No. This is where we're splitting the hair. Right. But Die Hard is exclusively only a couple of hours during a Christmas party on Christmas Eve. It's not having any time outside or Thanksgiving or anything else like that. It's exclusively
but it's only in a Christmas party, but it's not a Christmas. That's what I keep saying. It's at a Christmas party, but it's nothing to do with Christmas except the fact it happens at a Christmas party.
Change the Christmas party for a Thanksgiving party. What's the difference?
Do you know what I would class it as? Trading Places. What would you class Trading Places as?
Not the Christmas film.
Yeah, it's set at a Christmas party. Dan Aykroyd.
No, it's set during December.
No, he crashes a Christmas party. He's dressed as Santa.
Yeah, but it's set during December. He has period. What is it? 30 days to get rid of.
There's a good bit in there. It's not just a 2-minute segment. There's a good bit in there. It's a Christmas. So by the same thing, because it's
no. You're narrowing the scale now.
No, I'm not. I'm just explaining the same thing. If you say because it's at a Christmas party, it's a Christmas movie.
Christmas Eve only. At the Christmas party, the film you just mentioned, it's taking place over the entire of December, if I remember. It might actually even start in November. It's not Christmas.
But Trading Places is go to me. I don't class it as it's a comedy. It just so happens, but to me, the same idea as Die Hard. It only happens at a Christmas party, but it's nothing to do with Christmas. The party's the vehicle to get the action movie going. I know we always have this argument, and it's Christmas. Why wouldn't we have an argument about Die Hard with the Muppets? That would be fun. Lego.
But
Lego
in this case, I'm perfectly happy to accept that you're wrong. Thank you for giving that to me as a Christmas gift.
I'm
And
sorry.
my nerdy gift is the fact is no matter how many times you actually repeat yourself, you just keep. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim. I must expect you to respect my truth. I identify as someone who is correct in this situation and has a similar situation to PJ. And I must ask you to respect my pronouns, to respect my truth. Otherwise, you're holding.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not woke, so I can't help you with that.
Damn.
Humbug.
Simple question, and probably something that perhaps our Americans could answer better. Take exactly the same story, said it at, say, Thanksgiving. I say Thanksgiving because I know that's an equally, or another big public holiday thing in the States.
In America, yeah.
In America. So you've got the same sort of background with presumably early closing shops and all the rest of it. Is there any real difference?
There is zero difference
to the storyline, to the action line. So in which case it's a story set at Christmas. The Christmas is not integral to the story. It's a setting, but it depends on what you define as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm basically saying. To me, a Christmas movie is set in this one. But as Colin says, if we take the Muppet Christmas Carol and put that Easter, it's not an Easter story.
No.
Just even if you take all references to Christmas, if you take Die Hard out of Christmas and put it at Valentine's Day party, does the story change at all?
Yeah.
See what I mean? That's why I'm saying, so it's not integral to the movie. So if it wasn't Christmas and it was Easter, Thanksgiving, Hogmanay, whatever, the story would have been identical. The only difference is they would have had to change one or two words.
Yeah,
so that's
but
what I'm saying.
Sorry, I have to disagree on that one, because what company have you worked for? Which company have you worked for in the past that hosts a Valentine's Day's office party? What company have you worked for in the past that hosts?
So suppose it's someone's retirement party.
Easter business party.
Suppose it's a retirement party.
Stupid dating.
Jim, suppose it's not a Christmas party. Suppose it's a retirement party for one of the senior management or something. No, the only reason I said at a holiday is because you've also got the holiday thing. Obviously, you've got the outside the building things with people being closed and shopping and all the rest, which I can't. It's a long time since I've seen Die Hard, but the party is the setting.
Yes, and the reason to host the party is solely that it is Christmas. It's not Hogmanay. It's not New Year's Eve. It is not Valentine's Day. It's not Easter. It's not even Midsummer. The reason the party is actually taking place... If it was
Midsummer, there'd be a lot more dead bodies. And we get Inspector Barnaby on there instead.
But that's what I'm saying. The whole reason that the party is taking place, the whole reason that the terrorists are targeting them is because they know there is less security due to a holiday and everything. And this is America after all. They may have been able to put this on July the 4th.
Yeah, that's why I say something like July the 4th.
New Year, or they could have done it at Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't. They chose.
But that's what I'm saying.
Christmas.
So the Christmas was.
When was it released?
The story. The Christmas was irrelevant to the story, and I don't care what the chat agree with Jim say.
At the end of the day, it's a definition movie.
But
it's a definition thing.
What we do know
is your definition of a Christmas.
We do know it's a Christmas movie because of two reasons. The Muppets Christmas Carol. One, it says Christmas in it. And two, it's no other genre. The music is irrelevant to it being a Christmas story. The setting is irrelevant to be a Christmas story because it could have been set in the future. It could have been set in present day, like we've seen.
It is almost by definition set in at least 3 time zones.
Yeah, but you look at the Muppets one. We've had Scrooge set in present day years ago, but we've also had Blackadder's Christmas Carol.
Well, yes,
which had multiple time zones.
Yeah, but Blackadder Christmas Carol was absolutely brilliant because it was done in reverse.
Yes,
this is one thing that.
But the thing is, what I'm see, Kelly's with me. That's all.
The Muppets did not have either Baldric or Blackadder in swimming trunks, bondage gear. Now, I'm not sure if that is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's definitely a difference between the two.
Yeah. But the thing is, I could go on about Die Hard quite a lot just for the simple fact is, A, I know it winds people up. 2, I am that stubborn that nothing you'll be able to say convinces me it's a Christmas movie. And as I said, I've watched Violent Night. Violent Night's about Santa set at Christmas at presents giving. And to me, it's still not a Christmas movie because it's an action movie. They just so happen to set there with Santa as the John McClane type or the Steven Seagal type or the ex-CIA, ex-SEAL, that you see what I mean? They've just put it in a particular way. So the story is irrelevant. It just so happens they wanted to have Santa as that guy, as Jack Reacher, or as Bourne, or as this, and as that. All these type of special forces type, it gets accidentally caught in the middle of a burglary break-in, and they have to stop him single-handed. So even though Violent Night is set at Christmas, has got Santa in it, and he is the protagonist or the Punisher, as it were. To me, it's not a Christmas movie, even though it's got those in it, because it's an action movie. It's just set and using Santa as a vehicle for it.
I think
that's harder to actually justify.
If I'm going to
concede
a bit of the ground here on the whole Die Hard thing, it is the fact that Die Hard is as much as it is action and well done action for the time it came out. It is the fact that it is comedy. It has the lightheartedness. It is not over the top violent, even though Alan Rickman being dropped off the tower, and the director was actually really pulling in the actual scare on him.
Yeah.
Okay, that is where it's borderline, but it is the brevity. Christmas is supposed to be about fun and everything. And like I said, conceding a little bit, 12-year-old me would probably not have gone and thought, okay, this is a Christmas film, but definitely the adult me, everything has been put to bed, the dishes are done and everything. I need to sit down and just watch a film. Die Hard is a Christmas option, just to maintain.
A movie you watch at Christmas is not the same as a Christmas movie.
No. I'm not going that far. I'm going as far to say Die Hard is an option for a Christmas film to watch. Like I said, an option, as in a genuine Christmas film with snow and the elves and the Santas and the deers and the sleigh and the Santa's workshop. No, that is not Die Hard. That's not what Die Hard does. But Die Hard is a Christmas spirit film.
Well, I know what you're saying. I mean, the thing is, I think you can't pin down most movies into a lot of movies.
They're multi-genre, because you look at this one, because it's got Muppets, which means it's technically a kids one. It's got
Muppets making it. Yeah.
Well, if it like that.
No, I say Muppets make it a kids one, not necessarily the animated. But I got
the Muppets make it a kids
Muppets
one.
In particular.
The music makes it a musical genre as well. during the Dickens Victorian era. It's not. It's the Georgian era, isn't it? Whatever. But Dickens' time makes it historical. But so there's a lot of different genres you can add to things.
Oh yeah,
but there's usually a predominant genre. Everything Starship Troopers is, you could class it as a war movie, but it's not. It's a sci-fi movie. You could class it as a farce or a piss take of the military genre.
Yeah,
but it's a sci-fi movie. There's a lot of movies you can put into different genres, but there's always one predominant genre. It comes under that umbrella.
The other thing.
What about Santa Claus Conquers the Martians? Not seen it.
Depends what time of the year it takes place. Because Santa's not only Santa at Christmas.
Vendology has just proved my point, right? So by that comment there, if it's got Santa in it, it's a Christmas movie. Which means Violent. Which
is
means
the Alamo
Violent
a Christmas
Night
movie?
Is a Christmas movie. It means Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a Christmas movie, but Die Hard doesn't have Santa in it.
But that means the Alamo's a Christmas movie. It's got Santa Anna in it.
So, you know what I mean? You've just confirmed for me that unfortunately, even though I don't agree with it, Violent Night is a Christmas movie because it's got Santa in it. But that means Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie because it doesn't have Santa in it. Thanks, Ben.
But I think
that also means you're going to kill a ton of other films that doesn't have Santa, like Muppets Christmas Carol. Santa's not there. It's only ghosts.
Yep.
The question is a Christmas movie something you associate with Christmas? Because if it is, I would throw one into the movie that I, for some reason, always seemed to be on Christmas when I was a kid, which is the Sound of Music. Always seemed to be on at Christmas.
Yeah. Nothing to do with Christmas. With the sound of "Get off my TV bugger."
Yeah. The interesting thing being, of course, when they actually filmed it, if they'd actually walked where they did that film at the end of it, they'd have come down about 10 miles away from the Berchtesgaden.
Yep.
From adults winter retreat. But no, but I was saying, I know this as well. Things you often see at Christmas are pantos.
Yeah.
Christmas. Because not many of them are
I wouldn't necessarily class them as Christmas, but they're a Christmas tradition.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's like somebody had mentioned about doing a ghost story. Ghost stories are not necessarily Christmas movies, but it's a Christmas tradition. Jim, the one about the waiter getting drunk because of the wee old woman thinks there's loads of people there. It's shown every day in Germany, and that it was shown every Christmas, in Germany, Switzerland, and all that. Was it called The Butler?
Dinner for One.
Dinner for One. To me, that's not a Christmas show at all, but it's a Christmas.
It's not the Christmas one for me either. It's a Christmas one.
Tradition. So I would agree with that. You can have a traditional Christmas, something that is not a Christmas movie, because some people, like you're saying, Sound of Music's on a lot around Christmas, and that Dinner for One was always shown on Christmas Day. It's not a Christmas thing, but it's a Christmas tradition. Pantomime's Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
So yes, you can have Christmas traditions which have got nothing to do with Christmas.
I'm wondering how close, as someone who is A, not an American, and B, doesn't like turkey, I have no way judging. How close is the proverbial Christmas dinner, turkey and all the trimmings, to a turkey dinner at Thanksgiving for our American friends? I honestly don't know. A, I can't stand Brussels sprouts or turkey, and B, as I said, I'm not an American, so we don't do Thanksgiving. So I'm not sure. I know turkey is a big thing at Thanksgiving for the Americans. So I'm just wondering if, is a Thanksgiving dinner close to a Christmas dinner? I honestly don't know.
I think it is, but I don't know. That's Wend or Kelly or Roman would need to answer that one. Kelly's in the chat, so she can answer. She can let us know. But there you go. If my house has got Christmas decorations on this year, I think it's more Christmassy. But that's to do with the fact is normally, even if I've got Christmas decorations up, I never used to switch them on because it was Christmas. I didn't care enough. Got my grandson this year, so my decorations are on, even though once I switch them off, I'll probably never take them down, so they'll be up most of the year. I just never switch them on. I'll take the batteries out so they don't flash, just for the simple fact is putting them on, I'll need to put hooks up if I'm going to take them down and put them up, take them down and put them up. At the moment, they're taped on, and the idea of untaping and retaping them next year just annoys me. I might start putting hooks up, but once I switch my lights off, the lights can sit there all year until next year, and I can switch them back on again. So yes, I've known people who have had the snow round their windows for months after Christmas because they couldn't be bothered sweeping it off, so they just left it. So they had Christmas decorations up, and it certainly wasn't Christmas.
Anyway, back to the Muppets Christmas movie.
Yeah, because it is a Christmas movie.
I'm gonna share this picture that I've just found on Twitter in the messages. You got Tiny Tim over there, right?
Right, you've not shared it yet.
I'm about to. They should have cast this as Tiny Tim, really, because
no.
Oh.
I would have actually preferred to have a frog with ears rather than horns.
Yeah.
Just because Miss Piggy's ears are so prominent. Her snout is prominent, so it works with the snout.
Does make you wonder, did Miss Piggy actually lay pig spawn?
Good point.
Because I'm trying. No, it's nearly Christmas. I don't want to start trying to remember where frog spawn are fertilised.
I know. Poor Kermit, he had his bacon and ate it. Terrible, I know. Anyway, Christmas. So, what would you say is your favourite part of the movie?
I already gave my favourite part. What's yours, Colin?
I'll let you know when I watch it.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I know. I didn't watch it. I was going to. I started watching it and got.
For me, it's the part. Well, it's not the part. It's the through and through. Michael Caine being able to deliver an emotional, a believable Scrooge, even though he's surrounded by literally Muppets.
Yeah. It's a Muppet!
I'm just wondering, I wonder what that paid for to do this film. Because Michael Caine said when he did Jaws the Revenge, it paid for his mum's house, I think. I wonder what this paid for, the swimming pool?
I think it was a fun. It was a fun project.
My favourite
allowed them to do a bit of singing.
My favourite bit would be if we got the Muppets singing Men of Harlech. Muppets, thousands of them. And then he turns around and Stanley Baker says he only came here to build a bloody bridge. Oh, sorry, no, got my films confused there.
I just find it funny is that I think there was an interview done back with Michael Caine. He turned around and said is that he played it like doing a Shakespearean play.
Yeah. Well, I saw critical review of it the other day, and I thought he was saying that exactly. Yeah. Which I think is what makes it stand out is that you say compared with Scrooge is a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's played as a comedy, which is no problem. Fine, no problem. That's exactly how they play it. So he's meant to play it. The Muppets Christmas Carol is actually the bit for all the bits I've seen is actually played certainly by Michael Caine straight.
He is playing it straight.
Yeah.
Even the bits where he's dancing with the.
I'm
there you go. It's a Wonderful Life, a Christmas movie. Must most of it doesn't take place. I would say it's a Christmas tradition for me, but I don't class that as a Christmas movie. So that's my answer.
For
Because I
me,
love
the resolution takes place around Christmas, like the value
yes,
of
but
joy and everything.
it goes into the same thing. It's set around Christmas, but it's not a Christmas movie because it's a movie about what redemption. You know what I mean?
I would love to see the outtakes of this film.
Yeah, the I wonder what's on the disc. I'll need to check the disc again to see.
Because the thing is that there's got to be a bit where Michael Caine breaks down.
There has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be, but when he cracks up and can't keep a straight face because someday one of the Muppets or Muppeteers will just turn around and say, "You screwed that one up,"
Yeah.
and he'll just let you know what I mean.
That's the great thing about outtakes.
Windology. We need someone to do an entire stream about whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Oh wait, we're doing that now. Oi. That was a Christmas move. Sorry.
Rudolph the Red. No, I've seen that.
So my favourite part, and it's because it's a soppy part, is Christmas yet to come.
Yeah.
When he's looking through the window and they're going on about wee Tiny Tim and Thingy, and I'm just sitting there going, "No, make me cry." Yeah, and it's because you look at that, a Muppet movie with a very emotional minute in it.
Yeah,
as I think the drinker pointed out, it's a kids' movie, and it goes to something. It's still a Christmas Carol, which means means it goes to some dark places.
Yes. And it's great is that when they come up to the part with the Christmas yet to go, you had Gonzo and Rizzo disappear from that section.
Yeah, it's too scary.
Yeah, we're out of it, kids. But it's just when Michael Caine turned around, like, got the jump out of his life. I thought to myself at that time, yeah, I would shit myself if I saw that egg standing there.
Oh my God, Mighty Joe Young! I've not seen that for years. I love the Mighty Joe Young. There's another movie I'll need to get hold of. There you go. Prime rib they have at Thanksgiving. Turkey, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Very little Christmas meal. So it really depends. It's the same as here. I've got my daughters have turkey and all the stuffings, but here we've got salmon, we've got silverside as part for our Christmas meal because I'm not a big fan of turkey. So
I think we just got.
I've been out a couple of times. I've gone out and had a curry at Christmas Day as my Christmas meal. So
just think about all the people who will be working in those restaurants on Christmas Day.
Yeah, and they get paid very well and they get good tips.
I know. But they'll be rushed off their feet.
Yeah. Right, so it's basically catching up. So Wend was talking about Christmas. But there you go. Christmas usually cooked ham. So not necessarily turkey. So it's one of those things, different places, people have whatever. There's no traditional, there is a tradition of turkey, but not everybody has turkey.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how far back a lot of our Christmas traditions go. I mean, a few of our Christmas traditions are brought in by the Victorians. I mean, famously, the Christmas tree famously by Prince Albert because it was a German tradition.
Yeah, and Christmas cards was Victorian as well. The Christmas tradition of white Christmas was a Charles Dickens tradition because he grew up during the mini ice age. So when he was a kid, growing up for about 8 years solid, he got snow. So he grew up with snow. So he just, anytime he wrote a Christmas scene, it was always heavy snow.
Yeah.
And that's why now where you see movies that talk about Christmas, doesn't matter where, there's always snow. So very rarely you get a Christmas scene where there's no snow, because movies will always want to portray Christmas at a glance. So they'll always do the snow. You see things like your Christmas cards. There's always tree houses with snow on them. And that's because it's a tradition based on Charles Dickens. So things like that. But so Jim, what did you say your favourite part was?
I think he's eating, having a food coma.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I already
there
described it. It is the Michael Caine's
That's right.
ability to just
That's
act.
what you did.
And with the cheeky comment that he's literally surrounded by Muppets.
It's a Muppet. Yeah, I remember that one. Sorry, I was actually watching some Dangerous Brian the other day. So, Dangerous Brian Connolly, where he constantly take the Muppet and he would slap it and people would go,
Nick Shrewsbury and Larry the Loafer.
So what we're going to do is, because believe it or not, I'm absolutely knackered. I'll be up since 5 o'clock this morning. And I wasn't working, so I had a bit more of an easier day. So I thought it would have actually been not too bad. So next week, we are going to do The Changeling, a Christmas spooky story. And we'll not have a live show on Saturday because Christmas Eve, everybody's got things to do. Yeah. What we're going to do is we'll upload something for roughly 8 o'clock, and it won't be a long video, maybe about 15 minutes, just to wish everybody a Merry Christmas from everybody. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, remember to tune in next Wednesday for The Changeling. And I'm sure we're going to actually have somebody sitting in the chair taking charge of that one, because I've never seen The Changeling. I'll be seeing it for the first time that day.
So
so it should be fun.
So who the hell put it up then? Because I've never seen it.
I'm blaming Wend. Or Kelly. Or somebody else not here to take the blame, so I'll just pass it. We can even blame Roman. Do you know what we'll do? We'll blame Roman. He's not here to defend himself, so we'll blame Roman. Makes it easy.
Well, we blame him right to his face, don't we?
Well, that's well. So,
for Christ's sake.
What? Oh my God, just as we're about to finish up. That's my fault. I forgot to actually do the same again. I forgot to add that, and I'll need to actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually be very specific and actually have a wee instruction. Remember and do this, remember and do that, remember and do that when I'm creating the streams, because there's always bits and pieces I forget because I'm terrible. I'm really bad at that.
That'd be a great book.
Is that why we forgot to intro this stream?
Yeah, I've got an intro for this stream.
Yeah? No, there's no intro for the Wednesday night. I'll need to actually do something. I had a couple of bits and pieces, but I took them all down because it's going to be something that's actually going to have old bits of TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I've just not got round to actually doing something for it. So I'll need to, over the Christmas period, I'll be able to do that because I've got a week off. I finish on Friday and that's me until a week on Wednesday, so I've got plenty of time. So we're going to finish up there a fairly quick 1 hour stream, which is very unusual for me. But for all yous out there, remember and have a lovely Christmas. and we'll catch you in between with the Changeling next Wednesday. We'll just be putting a wee video out to wish you a Merry Christmas nearer the time, but no live videos from now until after Christmas. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, thank you for joining us. And from me and the guys, remember, we are not old, we are classic. Have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you between. Bye.
So long, everyone.